What would convince you that we do share the same planet? Is there anything that you could learn that you don't already know that would raise your confidence in the claim that we share the same planet? Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Are you okay if I record?
Yeah, no problem. That's all good.
Cool. Thanks for stopping.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's your day going?
Oh, man, it's going good, man. I'm, cool chilling, ain't got no complaints. Just out here taking myself out and just doing some self-care,
Self-care?
Yeah.
Hanging out in the fresh air and stuff?
Fresh air with the self-care, that's it.
Right on.
Meaningful. What's meaningful? Meaningful. Do you mind if I sit this to the side, though? I don't want to get the
Yeah, I
food
can
in
sit
there.
down here for you.
Yeah, get the food in the interview,
It's right under you.
Yeah, all right, cool.
All right.
Now let's do it. How long you been doing it, being a YouTuber?
Well, I've had one YouTube channel that basically has all kinds of stuff since like 2008.
Oh, okay.
But I started this particular channel for this kind of thing. It's been less than a year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
it's not very long.
That's cool.
What was your name again?
Thomas.
Thomas. Okay. Thomas.
Thomas Jackson. You can actually find me on YouTube under Thomas Jackson.
Okay. Do you want to
Yeah.
promote that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Sometimes, well, I usually leave out the last name, but if
That's
if
my
it means
artist
to
name.
promote,
So I do music. So that's my artist name.
perfect.
Thomas Jackson.
If you're okay having that on YouTube for like promotion purposes,
Yeah, we can do that.
then I'm cool with that. Awesome. Good to meet you. My name's David.
David, nice to meet you.
And just to recap about what I'm doing is I'm interviewing folks about something they think is true, something that's meaningful to them. And my job is to ask questions from a neutral perspective
Okay.
that helps us explore how you arrived at the belief or the conclusion
Okay.
and what supports your confidence that it's true.
Facts.
Yeah. So, do you have something in mind that you want to explore?
Yeah, let's talk about. I don't believe religion is real. I believe that more so religion is a ploy to keep people either grounded or controlled.
Okay. Religion was created to control people?
Yeah,
Would that be a good way to put it?
I believe so.
Okay. What do you mean by religion? What's your definition for religion?
So religion is more so like a sect or a group committed to one belief and biased thinking.
Okay. It's a group that shares biased thinking?
Yeah, that's exactly like a group that shares bias. Yeah, biased form of thinking. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. What is bad about a group sharing biased thinking?
So I believe that biased thinking creates separation of people, right?
Okay.
And when you have these biases, you can never embrace what someone
Okay.
has to
Okay.
offer life.
It's hard to understand people when you have bias,
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to.
and that divides people.
Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
100%. I believe that every individual has something to offer life. Every individual has something to give to this life. But if we have our own biases and our own prejudices based on those biases, then we can never really obtain, I believe, um, our own self power, like our own power within ourselves, right? That we've been given, I believe, from God or the higher power or whichever you decide to believe. I believe that each person or however they grew up has something to give someone that can help them elevate in their way either of thinking or of life. But we tend to take away from that, because of the way that we were raised or one group of people. It's not even religion, it's more so just life in general, right? But a lot of like sects were created or separations were created by religion, and so that's just one form of it. But the biases throughout life when it comes to race or code or creed or whatever, all those biases and prejudices take away from really us allowing ourselves to embrace what life has to offer.
Okay. Everybody has something to offer, and if we're biased, we have less of an opportunity uh,
Grow.
to grow
Yeah.
and
We stunt our growth.
get people to be together, to see things to see things more coherently,
Clearly, yes.
clearly. Okay.
So for instance, right? Example: somebody who's never been in a survival situation would never know what it's like to survive,
Mm.
right? Somebody who's never lived a great life would never know how to live a great life, right?
It takes
Because
experience.
it takes experience. Experience is the best teacher, right? So if you can go from surviving to living, then you are that much more powerful than anybody who's ever survived or anybody who's ever really had a great life, because now you can see things from a full spectrum versus just seeing it from one opposing perspective.
uh, and religion prevents this.
I believe so.
Okay. Um, on a scale from 0 to 100, how confident are you that religion divides people?
100.
100.
100%.
Okay. What does 100 mean right now to you? Like,
So, so for instance, I believe that 100% because from the religions that I've studied, I can't really say all religions, but from the religions that I've studied myself, so I can't really say it's 100%, but because that's on my own bias thinking, right?
okay.
So, right,
So where are you now?
I would say I would probably be. It's not really, you can't really scale that because it's obviously per individual, right? You can't really scale, say from. I would say I can't scale that because yeah, like literally, it's per individual. It's literally for me. I embrace everybody. I think that everybody are amazing people, from the homeless man that is sitting on the corner who has a lot to offer life because he's seen things that people have probably will never see in their life, right? But also you have the man who's sitting in the high-rise building who's a multi-billionaire like a Jeff Bezos or something, and he has a wealth of knowledge about things that we will never know. So how do we say I can't embrace this man who has a wealth of knowledge in a different aspect, and say we can only embrace this one who has a wealth of knowledge, just because I would say our society believes that that's the way to be, when that guy could have been a millionaire, which I've met a lot of millionaires, multi-millionaires, who were homeless that just didn't want to be a part of the system.
Mm, okay. Okay. They had like a different take on
Yeah, they just didn't want
what.
to be a part of. They just didn't want to be a part of.
Got it. How does that relate to
Religion.
religion divides people?
So I believe that, well, people say, oh, for instance, I would say from when I was growing up, I grew up a Baptist in Christianity and things like that. And they would say, oh, if this person didn't believe this way, they're going to hell, or, you have to believe a certain way, or you're this, they're wrong, or this person's wrong, or you would try to convince somebody to believe what you believe and tell them that their faith is wrong.
Okay. Uh, you said that you were 100% confident that religion divides people, and then I think you I think you decided that you weren't 100%.
Yeah, like you can't really scale it because
I'm asking about the confidence that you have that that's true. Like you're
so I believe that religion. Okay, so the confidence that I have, I would say it'd be at like a 80-20.
80.
Yeah, 80%, because you do have people that are a part of those particular religions that are open, right, to and receptive to receiving people, but then you have others who are not at all, and majority of the time it's been no.
Some
It's been that way.
religions bring people together,
Yeah,
and that's what supports the 20%.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. What percentage of your beliefs or your conclusions,
Okay.
what percentage of those do you think are accurate?
Percentage. So I would say this, that 100% of what I believe is for me to believe,
Uh-huh.
right? So I'm 100% correct in my own belief, right? Now, whether someone else decides to embrace that, that's their choice to believe that, right?
Okay.
So for me, I believe that I can't say because I believe this way, I'm 100% sure that the way that I believe is correct, but it's for my life, it's for my walk, right? And my journey in life.
Okay.
But for other people, it may be different for them.
Uh-huh.
So I can't say that they're wrong
If
because,
they believe something else?
yeah, I can't say that.
Okay.
I would want to learn from them and ask why,
Okay.
right? Why do you believe? Because maybe I can say, oh wow, well okay, well maybe my thinking is a little off. Maybe I can kind of scale it because if I'm to evolve, right, then I'm always being willing to learn, right? I'm always willing to receive and to grow. But the things that I don't need, I don't have to take them, like plants.
Got it. Got it. You you're convinced that all of your beliefs are accurate, but you're open to learning from other people and their beliefs, and uh, that could help in you believing something that's true that you thought it was false before, or how does that? Can
So
you?
yeah, so my beliefs are 100% correct for my journey in life
Okay.
at this point. Am I open to learning? Yes, I have to be, right? Because there are people who have more experience than me,
Uh huh.
right? So I have to be able to be receptive to learn a better way, right? It's just like, for instance, if I had a hammer, right, and I was just nailing this thing all day, right? But somebody created a nail gun. So am I just going to continue to use this hammer when I could literally get the job done more efficiently and faster using the nail gun,
Hmm.
right? Because someone showed me a better way.
One
So
way is more efficient, or faster, or just better, generally. Um, if if you had a belief and somebody had a belief that was opposite of that belief,
mhm,
and both beliefs couldn't be, or could both beliefs be true at the same time if they're
absolutely. Because what's true to somebody else may not be true for someone else.
okay? I have a thought experiment
Okay.
that would help me with this.
Yeah, let's do
If you're
it.
game,
I'm
you okay
game.
on time?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I have a box of Tic Tacs,
Okay.
and I don't know how many are in here, and I assume that you don't know how many are in here.
Right.
Um, would you say though that there is either even or an odd number of Tic Tacs in here, just by the way that we define Tic Tacs. Like, it's not a trick question.
Yeah.
There's no like half Tic Tac or anything
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
But would you say that it's true that there's either an even number of Tic Tacs or an odd number of Tic Tacs?
Based on the numerical scale, yes. But then again, we have to look at the fact that where did the source of numbers come from?
Uh huh. The way that we define numbers, though, like.
Right. Yeah. The way that we define numbers,
Mhm.
yes, there's an odd or even number.
Okay. Uh, how could we find out how many there are in here?
Pour them out and count them.
Okay. So if we were to pour them out and count them, and it turned out that we counted 20,
Okay.
and you and I both agree that there were 20, we counted like 100 times, and we're convinced that there's 20.
20. Okay.
So that would be an even number, right?
Okay.
If somebody were to walk up and say that it was true for them, that their belief was that there were an odd number, would that belief be true?
Well, you have to get to the source of as to why they believe that, right?
Would they be correct in saying that my belief is that there's an odd number in here? Would
So,
that be like if you had the choice of something either being true or false?
so, so if it's true or false, based on my belief, absolutely not. It's not correct. But based on their belief, I would say, well, why do you think that?
Uh-huh.
Right? Because
And
may
if they were to say that it's my belief that there's an odd number, why would they be mistaken still?
you never know that. You can never know until you really allow yourself to learn from them why they believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they may know something scientifically that we don't.
Okay.
This person, random guy that walks up, could have been in science all of his life, and he's can tell you that, hey, what we believe was created in this form or fashion, right? But the reason why you think it's odd is because of the propaganda that's been pushed. However, it's odd because such and such and such and such, right? So we never know, and that's the problem. We take things for face value.
Mm-hmm.
As a people, we take things for face value, and then we just judge based on that, but never look to the source of why people believe. And that's why I say that when we embrace other people's beliefs, that we may be able to learn something from them that we've never thought that were even possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we rush our own biases and our own projections onto other people as to why we never really dive into truth, to their truth. And what may be true for them at the moment may not necessarily be true for us. But on that journey of them explaining, we may gain some particular truth that we never even knew about.
If the scientists were to walk up and they said, "I'm a scientist. I've been studying science my whole life, 50 years. Here are my credentials," and they somehow convinced us that yeah, they've been studying science for a whole lot of a long time, and they said that the number of Tic Tacs in here was odd. Would you say, okay, 30 means odd, or 20 means odd? I don't remember which
20.
number.
It was 20. Right.
If they said, okay, it's odd,
Right.
would them being a scientist and studying science for that long convince you that 20 means odd?
Well, let me ask you this. If a pastor walked up and told you that God is real and you have to be baptized to be saved,
Mm-hmm.
because he was a pastor, and but you believe different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he said, well, you're not going to make it to heaven because you haven't been baptized. Does that make him correct?
No. And in addition to that, to answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's either true or not true, regardless of what we think about it or what we
Right.
believe. Like
Okay.
either there's a hell or there's not a hell.
Okay.
I think both can't be true at the same time based on
Okay.
what we believe. Um, I, I feel you when you say we can learn from what other people believe,
Right.
and talking to them, have good conversations, and asking them questions about why they believe stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of what I
Right.
do. So I I I respect that about you.
Thank you.
Um, and I think that somebody can be mistaken even though they hold a belief about it.
True. Well, we're human, right? We're not without error,
Mm-hmm.
right? However, I believe that there can be parallel truths because 0 plus 1 is 1 plus 0, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can arrive at the same number, but you're changing the equation.
Right. What about contradictory conclusions, though?
Contradictory conclusions.
Yeah, like person A says hell is real, person B says hell is not real. You're saying that both of those could be true at the same time, or
Based
are you saying that?
based on someone's belief, it can only be true to them. My
Can
truth, my journey. So it's like this, right? So my journey in life is not dictated by what someone else necessarily believes for them.
Mhm.
My journey allows me to be able to embrace what they believe, right? So, for instance, as a people, when you were a kid and you say you scraped your knee, right? And your mom came up and she grabbed you, right? And you were like, oh man, you were screaming before she got there. But then as soon as she picked you up, all of a sudden, tears stopped. The pain didn't hurt. It subsided, right?
Mhm.
Well, that's the same thing with people, right? Regardless if they're not our child or not, they're human. They have
Mhm.
the same emotions,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of times we look at the action versus the trauma behind the action.
Mhm.
So we never get to the source of what's going on with someone. That's the same thing when it comes to everything in life, right? We never take the time to get to the source of why this person is who they are, right? Instead, we have our own biases, whether it be through religion, race, color, code, or creed, and never really fully learn the truth
Mhm.
because we stand on our own truth, right? And that's what it is. But my journey in life allows me to see to sit back and be like, hey man, I really want to get to know who you are. And the reason why I want to get to know who you are is because I know that you have something to offer. Like for instance, I was just walking past here and I'm just like, interview, what? I'm like, well, okay. And then you know what? Like, and he was like, I want to talk about something meaningful. I'm like, meaningful?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm all about meaningful conversations, right? And so, but you getting to the source and getting to the heart of what everyone's truth is, right?
Huh.
And you learn something, like you may take something from my journey and be like, huh, well, that shit made sense a little bit, right?
Mm.
And then I'm taking this like, well, maybe I can think on a different scale, right?
Mm.
And think from things through different angles. But I never would have looked at those particular angles if I never would have sat down and say, hey man, what are you doing?
Cool.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's I believe that is the truth about life. We it's kind of like getting vitamins, right? Like people need the vitamin D from the sun or whatever. But when we embrace other people, uh, beliefs and cultures and ways of life, and it's not about right or wrong. It's about what can I learn.
Mhm.
When we get to that point, then I believe we will become one of the most powerful societies in the world.
Mm. Vitamin C, but the C is conversation.
Yes, that's it.
So, first of all, I just want to compliment on your shades. Those are like, they're pretty badass.
Thanks, man.
My question is, if I were to say that those shades belong to me, and then I need them back, would would I be mistaken?
I would.
And it's my belief that they're
Mhm.
mine, and it's
Okay.
my truth that they're mine. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Uh,
He was right up on me. Okay.
but would would I be mistaken
I would ask you what makes you think that.
because it's my belief,
That's it.
it's my truth.
Okay. Well, what made you come to that conclusion?
It's everybody has their own their own truth and their own journey, and in my journey, those are mine.
Well, that's understandable. But in my journey, I actually went to the store and purchased these, right? Which is what you have to do in order for you to acquire something. And so in my journey, these are mine. Like I get that you feel that way, and that's okay. You're allowed to feel every kind of way you want to feel,
Mhm.
right? I can't take away from that, right? However, at this point, they're on my face.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Is it true? Is it true that they're mine?
I believe it belongs to everybody, but they're in my possession at this time
Okay.
because everybody has access to them.
Okay. If my goal was to know what's true, whether I ever have the ability to actually do that, because of our biases and our perceptions, like you were saying, but if my goal
Hmm.
was to know what's true, how would I go about finding out if it was true or not that those are my sunglasses?
So this is that's a really good question. So in some cases things are black and white, right? But for some cases it leaves a lot of room for gray area. You know, like for instance, can we really say that the sky is blue, right? Um, that's a color that was created by someone, right? In particular,
Mm-hmm.
who made the colors. So is that really a true blue sky, right? But it's based on the, I would say, what we were propagandized into believing.
It's what our
Society.
society decides and agrees
Yeah,
upon what we call that color.
right. So we can only really know what truth is based on our own personal journey, right? What's true for me is not true for you necessarily, right? But we can
What
have
does
some,
true mean?
but we can have some commonalities.
What's your definition of truth?
My definition of truth, whew, that's a good one, man. My definition of truth is what is agreeable with my spirit.
What's agreeable with your spirit?
Hmm.
Okay. Truth is whatever agrees with your spirit.
Hmm. For my truth.
Yeah. Yeah. Your truth isn't necessarily my truth.
Not necessarily your truth because we have two different journeys. However, that does not mean necessarily that we can't have some commonalities in our truth
Okay.
because the emotions are just like we can go through the same situation, right? Which the situation is very common for the both of us.
Uh-huh.
However, our emotions may be completely different. Our perception of what happened can be different. If you go back and look at biblical structures, they were given the same account. They were all the same, in the New Testament, they were all walking with Jesus, right? But everybody had a different account, right? And some of the perceptions in the stories were changed. Some of the words were different, right? But it was all the same experience, but it was their truth written down.
Kind of the same story.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, this might sound like a really weird question,
that's okay.
um, but I ask it because you'd be surprised at the answers that I get. Um, are you and I sharing the same planet?
You know? No. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I believe that we create our own worlds, right? Like we are our own world. And what we allow into that world, like we are within an atmosphere, right? We're all within an atmosphere, but I believe that each person is their own world. And very it's crazy to really think about it in a way because like what you allow into your world, you have that power. And I believe that a lot of people don't understand the power that they possess as a human being. Um, being in sharing I would say, being in a place like this
Why do you think it sounds crazy to say that we don't share the same planet?
because it's outside of the normal spectrum of what you know of what society tells us.
Is it because society tells us that we live on the same planet? Is that what's causing you to think that we don't live on the same planet? Like, what's the main reason why you think we're not living on the same planet?
I would well I would say that the Earth is the only thing that holds us here is gravity, right? That so to speak, right? So if we were to take away from gravity, right, we all be pulled in different directions, or maybe the same direction, or would we be pulled in any direction? Because
Mm-hmm.
literally, we don't even the direction is only given to us by society, right? So we don't really know any. We don't really know as people anything. I couldn't even say it. Maybe we do live on the same planet. Maybe we share it. I don't know. That's it. That's something I have no idea. Can
Huh.
can can you say we only live on a planet because we were told we live on a planet? The word planet didn't come from, it had to come from some particular person, right? So we're all within somebody else's truth.
The words that we use as a society that we've agreed, for the most part,
Yeah.
um, to use to define things,
Hmm.
that's is that the main reason that causes you to think that we don't share the same planet? Is
Yeah.
is the okay?
everything's been everything's been pre-recorded for us, right? So we all basically are English or languages that we speak, right? We the societies that we have, the buildings that's being built right there, right? That was an architectural structure to be able to do that, but all this stuff was done before. They had buildings without wood, like clay. They built them out of clay, right? And straw structures, right?
Uh-huh.
Way back before we were, they made homes out of caves, and so all the stuff that's derived now, like we can't really say that, you know, um, it wasn't given to us. It wasn't handed like, here, this is what you're supposed to say. When you go to school, you can't say this. This is what you're supposed to say based on someone's moral compass, not necessarily our own.
How does the word planet affect whether we share the same planet?
How does the word planet affect whether we share the same planet? Is that what you said? Um,
Because it sounds like you're not convinced that we share the same planet because of the word itself that was given to us.
yeah, true. I
So
don't. I
is
mean,
there sorry, go ahead.
what do we call it?
If we called it something else, would that raise your confidence that we share the same whatever we're calling it?
Well, we could say this is Earth, but who is it? Just like when we were talking about the sky, it's blue, right?
Uh-huh.
Is the sky the sky? Is is that light pole a light pole, or it could be based on the fact that somebody told us it's a light pole, or
Is there something there though?
huh?
Is there something there taking up that space that you and I can share no matter what word we decide to name it?
Yeah. Are we sharing the same space? Yes, believe so. Is it a planet? Is it Earth? I don't, we can't say what it is based on someone. This is what I say, right? So one part that I do like about biblical teachings is it talks about being a body, right? Like, so we're all one body, right?
Okay.
And the foot can't say to the hand that I don't need to, or the eye can't say to the ear nose or whatever, right?
Like
Um,
the body of humanity or each individual body?
no, the body of humanity,
Okay.
right? And so, because we have this body of humanity and things like that, right? It's literally, we could say we're part of a whole body, but we don't have this understanding of each other's dysfunctions. And so, in order to get to be completely in sync with the body, you have to allow yourself to understand the functions of each part of the body.
Okay. What would convince you that we do share the same planet? Is there anything that you could learn that you don't already know that would raise your confidence in the claim that we share the same planet?
We do. I mean, we're always learning. I could always learn more.
Is there a way for you to tell if we did share the same planet? Is there a way for you to find out?
Do I have a way at this very moment? Google. But then Google is someone else's truth. This is what I do every day. I'll tell you this. This is how I live my life. I try very hard every day to encourage somebody. Every single day that I breathe. Every single day that I wake up. I try to wake up to encourage someone. And I try to learn from someone. Every single day. And if I do that, if I can sit with, so I'm a substance use disorder and mental health recovery counselor, and so I work with, populations that are, have struggled, and so I'm there with people as a peer counselor. I'm there with people, walking with them in their journeys in life, right? Without judgment, without bias.
Uh-huh.
I don't care what you do. I don't care if you do drugs. That's fine. I just don't want you to be alone. I don't want you to ever have to feel like you're alone, because people commit suicide when they feel like they're alone. People do drugs when they have vicarious traumas or traumas that they've been through in their life. And so I believe that is my love is, I would say, if I had to pick a religion, it would be to love someone. And any and everybody.
Isn't that Bob Marley? Love is my religion.
Yeah, actually it is. Yeah.
Thomas, that was great.
Right.
Do you have any questions for me?
No, dude. I just enjoy life, man. I enjoy talking with people. You seem like a really amazing person. You ask the hard questions and you're not afraid to, and that's what people need in order to grow.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I just subscribed to your channel already. So I subscribed when I early did, so I'm definitely gonna look forward to seeing some more of this stuff, man.
That's great.
It's really coming down.
Yeah, if you want to have another chat, just let me know.
Okay.
I've been here when it's really hot or
Okay.
hotter, but sometimes I'm over at the lake, up at the
Okay.
Capitol, up and down the Shayless Western Trail,
Okay.
Priest Point Park, Burfoot Park. So if you see me again and you want to have another chat, just hit me up. I'd
Yeah,
love to
man.
have another chat.
Okay. Yeah, bro. No
That
problem.
was great.
Anytime.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
And if it's okay, if you'd like, I can put your YouTube channel in the description of this video.
Yes.
If you subscribe, I should
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
you got it. Yeah, you got it. I've already subscribed.
Cool.
So you got it. Yeah, man.
As long as you have it set up to where I can tell that you subscribed and it was you that did it.
See my face?
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Otherwise, I can just look this up. And it's going to be a while before this goes up because I just
Okay.
put one up every week, basically.
Nice. Okay.
So it's not like it's going up tomorrow.
No worries.
But yeah, I can put your channel in the description of this. And
Coming down.
yeah,
Yeah, right here. See, right?
yep,
Perfect. So that's me. You'll see me in
perfect.
Thomas Jackson 1002.
Awesome.
All right, man. Cool. I look forward to it.
1002.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, man. See you
I'll
in
subscribe to you too.
All right, cool, bro. Yeah,
All right.
See some of my music on there. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Have a good day.
All right, take care.